Welcome back to the episode. We are again in front of an elevator, and we are gonna get up the elevator because this is the wrong button. We're going for the where's this thing? The Saren stuff. Yeah, to the Citadel Council. That's where we need to go. Righty.
The council isn't going to ask me any questions, are they?
I doubt it. We've made our reports. Now we just have to trust Ambassador Udina.
No, we don't, sir.
Oh boy. Headaches. Much. You can just press space in order to skip anything in here. It's actually a really cool idea of a loading screen. Just make them move in some kind of separate area. Because if you really look at it, right, we just got the location inside the elevator, right, was not the same as we entered it. Like, let's say we go in here, right, and then I click the elevator button. And then we just got moved on fixed locations so that the elevator can go. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's just hope everything goes fine. Do we know the one on the left? Do we know the one on the left? Maybe it's the wrong... It is! Yeah, look at this.
Saren's hiding something. Give me more time. Stall them.
Stall the Council? Don't be ridiculous. Your investigation is over, Garrus.
Commander Shepard, Garrus Vicarian. I was the officer in charge of the C-Sec investigation into Saren.
Oh, you don't like Saren? Huh. Okay, what did you find?
Come across anything I should know about?
Saren's a Spectre. Most of his activities are classified. I couldn't find anything solid. But I know he's up to something. Like you humans say, I feel it in my gut.
I think the Council's ready for us, Commander.
Good luck, Shepard. Maybe they'll listen to you.
What about you?
You don't want to keep the Council waiting.
Why not? I mean, we kept them waiting all the way around here. Why not keep them waiting a little bit longer? Don't see any issues. Alright. Nothing. Right. Oh, wait a minute. We do have... That's the Council right over there. And we have ourselves doors that probably don't open for us, don't they? Nope. Then just decor. Good old decorum. I don't have to breathe that much. So the Council's further over there. None of those doors are going to open up for me. I mean, we would know.
No, I'm waiting to speak with one of the Councilor's assistants. Commander? Commander? Commander. Keeper. Some other fellows? Can we listen in on some interesting dialogue now?
What are those cherry trees?
Good question.
I like that fountain. It's very soothing.
Right.
No, I just want to ask a couple of questions.
Yeah, everybody just wants to ask a couple of questions, including me, by the way. So what do we got here? Rapid travel? Okay, that's a nice one.
Don't be ridiculous. The Volus won't be joining the Council for years.
I'm not so sure. The humans are making a strong push, and you can bet the Volus will be right on their coattails if they succeed.
Allowing the humans to join us is a sound strategic move. But the Volus? No. The Hanar are likely to be next, then the Elcor.
You may be right, though the Hanar need to lighten up a bit first.
You just don't like them because you have trouble understanding them.
Actually, the reason why they are part of the Council was because they are able to support, the other parties, the other factions, with military power, right? And Volos are not military in this case. They are more like supporting in financial and mercantile ways, right? This is their superpower. They cannot support them with battleships or with, like, offensive capabilities. That's just not what they are for, and this is why they can't really be part of the Council. That's just it. I mean, if this is the only reason why they are gonna get selected for being part of the Council, but if the Council just wants everyone to build, like, spaceships and frigates and whatever, then yeah, they do need the resources for it. So in this case, the Volos have to just support them no matter what. That's actually quite iffy, because they can just decide, yeah, we need more battleships, you have to pay for it. But they can't really say no, because they are not part of the decision-making forces there.
The hearing's already started. Come on.
The Geth attack is a matter of some concern, but there is nothing to indicate Saren was involved in any way.
The investigation by Citadel Security turned up no evidence to support your charge of treason.
An eyewitness saw him kill Nihilus in cold blood.
We've read the Eden Prime reports, Ambassador. The testimony of one traumatized dock worker is hardly compelling proof.
I resent these accusations. Nihilus was a fellow Spectre and a friend.
That just let you catch him off guard.
Captain Anderson, you always seem to be involved when humanity makes false charges against me. And this must be your protege, Commander Shepard. The one who let the beacon get destroyed.
Oh, interesting. Beacon destroyed itself, by the way. How did you get involved, though?
The mission to Eden Prime was top secret. The only way you could know about the beacon was if you were there.
With Nihilus gone, his files passed on to me. I read the Eden Prime report. I was unimpressed. But what can you expect from a human?
Interesting. See, he hates us. Insults. Very typical.
Saren despises humanity. That's why he attacked Eden Prime.
Your species needs to learn its place, Shepard. You're not ready to join the Council. You're not even ready to join the Spectres.
He has no right to say that. That's not his decision.
Shepard's admission into the Spectres is not the purpose of this meeting.
This meeting has no purpose. The humans are wasting your time, Counselor, and mine.
Okay, very interesting. Time can not really be wasted. Okay, I'll find proof. Commit protecting him. Arrogant bastard. Well, looks like we have to find proof then.
You can't hide behind the Council forever.
There is still one outstanding issue. Commander Shepard's vision. It may have been triggered by the beacon.
Are we allowing dreams into evidence now? How can I defend my innocence against this kind of testimony?
I agree. Our judgment must be based on facts and evidence, not wild imaginings and reckless speculation.
Do you have anything else to add, Commander Shepard?
Well, you won't see the truth. What's the point? Actually, yeah, what is the point? If they don't want to listen, we don't have to tell them anything. Well, actually, our dreams have nothing to do with Saren, right? Our dreams stand on their own merits. And the thing that Saren does is a completely different topic. But yeah. We are going for questions, aren't we?
You've made your decision. I won't waste my breath.
The Council has found no evidence of any connection between Saren and the Geth. Ambassador, your petition to have him disbarred from the Spectres is denied.
I'm glad to see justice was served.
This meeting is adjourned.
I think I got some renegade points from this. But we don't need to be a Spectre.
It was a mistake bringing you into that hearing, Captain. You and Saren have too much history. It made the Council question our motives.
I know Saren. He's working with the Geth for one reason. To exterminate the entire human race. Every colony we have is at risk. Every world we control is in danger. Even Earth isn't safe.
It has nothing to do with humans alone. It is far greater in reach. But how do you know Saren? Tell me about that.
Tell me about this history between you and Saren.
I worked with him on a mission a long time ago. Things went bad. Real bad. We shouldn't talk about this here. But I know what he's like. And he has to be stopped.
And now what?
What's our next step?
As a Spectre, he's virtually untouchable. We need to find some way to expose him.
What about Garrus, that CSEC investigator? We saw him arguing with the Executor.
That's right. He was asking for more time to finish his report. Seems like he was close to finding something on Saren.
Well, I talked to him then. He could be useful, but we definitely have to talk to him. His usefulness, we will see.
Any idea where we could find him?
I have a contact in CSEC who can help us track Garrus down. His name is Harkin.
Forget it. They suspended Harkin last month, drinking on the job. I won't waste my time with that loser.
You won't have to. I don't want the Council using your past history with Saren as an excuse to ignore anything we turn up. Shepard will handle this.
Well, the captain deserves better. What he deserves is none of our concern. No one deserves anything. I'm just on the job.
I'll take care of it.
I need to take care of some business. Captain, meet me in my office later.
I really have to get rid of this, like, depth of
Harkin's
field.
probably getting drunk at Cora's Den.
It's annoying.
It's a dingy little club in the lower section of the wards.
And also the depth of field stuff. See how the I can't really point at it, but just look at the borders around the captain, right? There's a little you see where the sharpness is supposed to come back into, and this filter is basically applied all over the place. I mean, it does kind of make sense in order to focus on the things in the foreground, but it is similar to motion blur, and it's just blech. Anyway, I actually thought it would be implemented a bit more, well, not that extremely at least. So, where was I? You want me to go see him? Wait, any other leads?
Maybe there's another way to find evidence against Saren.
You should talk to Barla Vaughn over in the financial district. Rumor has it he's an agent for the Shadow Broker.
The Shadow Broker?
An information dealer. Buys and sells secrets to the highest bidder. I've heard Barla Vaughn's one of the top representatives. He might know something about Saren.
Aye.
But his information won't come cheap.
Okay, what about you and Saren then? Anything else?
You and Saren have a history. What happened?
About 20 years ago, I was part of a mission in the Skillian Verge. I was working with Saren to find and remove a known terrorist threat. Saren eliminated his target, but a lot of people died along the way, innocent people. And the official records just covered it all up. But I saw how he operates. No conscience, no hesitation. He'd kill 1,000 innocent civilians to end a war without a second thought.
No one is really innocent, but in this case, unnecessary casualties are, well, unnecessary, right? Or casualties in this case are a bit unnecessary. The ratio of just targets to non-targets is a little bit wasteful. Anyway, he's a monster, so would I. Really? Would I? No. But the fact that he's a monster has nothing to do with that too. I mean, we understand his logic.
Killing innocents doesn't end wars, it causes them.
I know how the world works, Commander. Sometimes you're forced to make unpleasant decisions. But only if there's no other way. Saren doesn't even look for another option. He's twisted, broken. He likes the violence, the killing. And he knows how to cover his tracks.
Again, he's a monster. Okay, so can we just...
Killing innocents doesn't end
I know how the world... But only if there's no other way.
Would I do that?
Saren doesn't even look for another option. He's twisted, broken.
Sometimes 1,000 people must die so 1,000,000 can live.
Oh boy.
But only if there's no other way. Saren doesn't even look for another option. He's twisted, broken. He likes the violence, the killing. And
Killing innocents.
I know, but only if there's no other way.
We're on a loop.
Saren doesn't even look for another option.
Anyway.
He's twisted, broken. He likes the violence, the killing. And he knows how to cover his tracks.
Alright, now, the Council and the Ambassador.
Our ambassador doesn't seem to get along with the Council.
He's just frustrated. The Council's always preaching that we need to be part of the galactic community. But for them, it's a one-way street. They want us to expand and settle unstable regions like the Skillian Verge and the Attican Traverse. But when we run into trouble, they don't want to help us out. Everyone knows it's only a matter of time until we get a seat on the Council. The Ambassador just thinks it should happen sooner rather than later. And I agree.
Well, depending on our ability to build large battleships, right? What about you and... Wait a minute. Wasn't that the question that we already... We are too independent? We are too independent... Wait. Why do we... Yeah, wait a minute. we're definitely too independent for them, maybe.
Maybe they'd let us join the Council if we were more willing to cooperate with the other species.
Of course they would. If we did everything they told us to, they'd love to have us on the Council. But it wouldn't be much of a deal for us. I understand their side. They don't want us dominating the Council. It's founded on cooperation and alliances. But we have to look out for our own interests too.
Yeah, I mean, our own interest is getting stuff from the other races, right? But in this way, the bureaucracy in the middle of it is a little bit of a hindrance in this case. Just sheer exchange might be better for everyone involved.
Who cares if we get a seat on the Council? What's the big deal?
If the Council passes a ruling on an interstellar matter, we have to follow it. We don't have the fleets or political allies to defy them. Once we get a seat on the Council, we'll be able to influence those rulings, protect our own interests. No more jumping through hoops whenever we want something. Take this mess we're in now. If humanity had a seat on the Council, we'd just send the Citadel fleet out to take care of Saren and his Geth. Problem solved.
Citadel fleet. We're talking about the Citadel fleet for Citadel matters. It has nothing to do with human matters alone. And that's the reason why. Like, Citadel stuff is just something that needs to involve, like, multiple races at once. But the Geth and the humans is, like, actually just alliance business. So we have to figure that out on our own.
You and Saren have a history. What happened?
About 20 years ago, I was part of a mission in the Skillian Verge. I was working with Saren to find and remove a known terrorist threat. Saren eliminated his target, but a lot of people died along the way. Innocent people. But I saw how he operates.
Okay.
No conscience.
That was that.
No hesitation.
So, Harkin.
He'd kill 1,000
You don't think much of Harkin.
The guy joined CSEC about 20 years ago. He's been an embarrassment to our species ever since. Roughing up suspects in custody, bribery accusations, alcohol and drug use. The embassy used to step in when he got in trouble. But I guess enough was enough.
Okay, so they just abandoned him. But it sounds as he... well, some people have to balance their workload up a little bit, right? Get rid of the stress. But the bottle, doesn't really help.
I thought this embassy was supposed to help humans.
Harkin may be human, but he's also an ass. He's had more than his share of chances. If the embassy wasn't protecting him, he would have been fired 15 years ago. CSEC is better off without him.
And why protect him anyway?
The guy's a scumbag. He should have been cut loose a long time ago.
He was one of the first human CSEC officers. Guess it would have looked bad if he got fired. A lot of backroom deals were worked out over the years to keep him on the force. Politics is a dirty business sometimes, but it looks like his time's run out. We've got enough humans in CSEC now to stop protecting him.
Then why even do that? I mean, they just want to have him as, like, a pawn. They use him as, like... Yeah, I mean, at the beginning, he was probably fairly useful. But then the whole thing just changed. But maybe that also increased the stress on Harkin as well. I mean, if an awful lot of people have certain attitudes towards him, then he has to follow up on that, right? That's weird.
I want to know more about the Spectres.
They're not your typical government agency. They tend to work alone, behind the scenes. They take care of problems the Council can't. It's not easy preserving peace across an entire galaxy. The Council prefers to use diplomacy and negotiation. But sometimes more extreme measures are needed.
Okay, interesting. Is that even legal?
They sound like shadow operatives.
Everything about them is classified. We don't even know how many there are. The latest Alliance estimate puts their numbers under 100. But the Council couldn't do its job without them. They're the Citadel's top agents, the last line of defense, the final option before open war. The entire galaxy respects and fears them. If a Spectre shows up, you know something big is about to happen.
But you could also think of them as like a scalpel that only does a small cut in order to remove whatever growth happens there, right? It's basically a very precise way of dealing with some incident. If one goes too far, what then?
What happens when a Spectre goes rogue, like Saren?
It doesn't happen often. The Council is careful when they select their candidates. But when something does go wrong, there's usually only one solution. Send another Spectre to bring the rogue agent down.
And then another one gets rogue, and another one gets rogue. But there's usually a reason why they went rogue, right? How are they even chosen, those Spectres?
How do they decide who becomes a Spectre?
You can't just apply to join. There's no training program. Spectres aren't made. They're born. The Council's always looking for exceptional individuals. People who can get the job done, like you. They've been watching you for years. They see something in you. They want you on their side. Nihilus was supposed to give them a final recommendation, but with him gone, things are still up in the air.
Well, then we have someone... Well, we need someone else to get some recommendation. But in any way, doesn't matter. How are they even organized?
What's their command structure like?
There is no command structure. Each Spectre answers directly to the Council. Sometimes they're sent on specific missions. Other times, they act on their own. They tend to operate outside the law, do whatever it takes to accomplish their goals. The Council just turns a blind eye. Spectres have a lot of power, Shepard.
So that means they have to adhere to some standards, at least. In this case, their own standards. Now, the Shadow Broker you talked about.
Tell me more about the Shadow Broker.
He's a necessary evil of galactic politics. Buying and selling information is a part of the game. And the Shadow Broker just happens to be the best player on the field. Always sells to the highest bidder. Doesn't get involved in politics. Doesn't pick sides. A simple system, but it works. He's not a threat to anyone, not directly. He's just a resource we can use, or she is. Or maybe they are. Nobody really knows.
Nobody knows. Alright, and Barla.
Tell me about Barla Vaughn.
He specializes in moving large sums of money without leaving a paper trail. A financial genius. Doesn't do anything illegal, but he knows all the loopholes. He's got an impressive client list. Ambassadors, diplomats, Spectres. That's probably why the Shadow Broker uses him.
It's actually very interesting that those loopholes are only necessary because there are rules that can be looped around, right? You don't need them if there are no... if there are no rules to follow, no other structures to move around. It's actually very, 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 very interesting. So the structure itself might be the problem, and not the loopholes being used. Because the loopholes just mean that there is a certain... Well, not spectrum, but there's a certain... I want to say voltage. Potential, there we go. Going from one place to the next, and there is some stuff in the way, some structure. And therefore you need to loop around it, or through it, or whatever. And then the whole system works again. So... that's actually the thing. You have to orient the structure so that the potential just goes alongside it, right? And not through it, so that it becomes a hindrance.
I should go.
Good luck, Shepard. I'll be over in the ambassador's office if you need anything else.
Right. Right. So we got some codec stuff, some journals, and let's see. J. Garrus. Speak to Harkin, yeah, it's that one. And then we got like Barker and that stuff. Anything on the assignments? Not yet. I want to look in the codex. So, anything here?
The Asari, the second species to join the Citadel. The Salarians are warm-blooded amphibians with a hyperactive metabolism. Salarians think fast, talk fast, and move fast. To Salarians, other species seem sluggish and dull-witted. Unfortunately, their metabolic speed leaves them with a relatively short lifespan. Salarians over the age of 40 are a rarity. The Salarians were responsible for advancing the development of the primitive Krogan species to use as soldiers during the Rachni Wars. They were also behind the creation of the genophage bioweapon the Turians used to quell the Krogan rebellions several centuries later. Salarians are known for their observational capability and non-linear thinking. This manifests as an aptitude for research and espionage. They are constantly experimenting and inventing, and it is generally accepted that they always know more than they are letting on.
Interesting. Salarians and hamsters have an awful lot in common, right? Hamsters also have like a very high, some field mice or whatever. Like their heart rate is very high compared to a whale, for example. And we humans are somewhere in between, and the lifespan kind of depends on how many times a second the heart can beat, and after so and so many beats, it's usually over. And depending on your size, the heart needs to be like a little larger, but it needs to just beat less. And the less beating is the thing that kind of makes you live longer for some reason. It's very interesting. So, anyway, and also because they have like a very, very small surface area, that means they're constantly losing an awful lot of heat. So, like hamsters in this case, not Salarians. Like Salarians from a surface area perspective, they actually are. Yeah, wait a minute. They're actually quite thin, right? And if they are very thin, then that means they have a high surface area compared to their volume, meaning that they actually lose more heat through their surface than, let's say, larger creatures or like more massive creatures, because there's just more stuff inside than area around it. Therefore, they have to use up an awful lot of calories or like an awful lot of energy in order to facilitate their bodies. So that's actually very interesting. But overall, they can't be like half as old. I mean, a third, or like 2/3, like 60 years or something. That would kind of make sense. But 40 is a bit low. That might also be because of their brain activity. Maybe this is where all of the energy is going. Anyway, secondary stuff. Anyway, on the nothing here. No, this was just the primary stuff. Okay. Right. Now, where are we even going? We are going... Not here. We have to go back again. Let's see. We are right where the Council is supposed to be. No. The keepers don't do much there. Good. Wait a minute. Do we have some objects that we can interact around here? No. Nothing that got left behind for us to interact with. Let's see. Could we talk to them or like some... No. Oh. That's like... Okay, we can't fall down, thank goodness.
So, this is where the Council passes judgment on all us little folk, huh? Ever get the feeling we're in over our heads, Commander?
Well, way much.
This is it. The very heart of the Citadel. The pinnacle of galactic power. Kind of makes your head spin if you think about it too much.
I would say the thing that makes your head spin might be your implants. But alright. Okay, nothing there. He's breathing a little bit much. Kind of makes sense that you are out of stamina in combat, but outside combat it's a little weird. Oh.
That guy's up to something.
What guy?
This guy.
The one over by the Keeper.